Thank you so much for coming. It was very nice. The session was amazing. I think people really enjoyed. I really enjoyed.
Me
So
too.
thank you for coming.
Thank you too.
So how do you come up with the name Calmdown? Is there a reason there?
Yes, because in general, back when I start making music, before I start making music, there was a period in my life where it wasn't so nice everything. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into very much detail, but it was kind of a way to tell to myself to relax,
To calm
to
down.
calm down. And
Sweet.
so I was telling all the time to myself, calm down, calm down. So that's how somehow came up with the name. Maybe I should change it soon. Because, you would see.
There is no reason why.
Okay. So yeah, that's one of the reasons.
Sweet. I imagine growing up in a Greek island and then living in Berlin have been very transformative for you. How these two different places shape you?
Like Tinos and Berlin. I don't really know. Like, first of all, growing up on an island, you feel more freedom. You are completely free, completely different environment, that's true. And then, honestly, I wanted to leave the island because I got a bit suffocated. I love it. But when I was younger, I wanted to leave because I wanted to see other places. And also, I'm half German and I wanted to learn the language, go somewhere else. And it was just, I didn't have really a plan what I wanted to do. So I went to Berlin, and I think it made me more independent. And when I was pretty young, I was 20, so it shaped me a lot because I lived there 15 years now. So there was a lot of things in the beginning, and I was growing up. I was living alone, and yeah, I think all of that played a huge role with me starting music because I actually started music in Berlin. So in the beginning it was very difficult for me at some point because of many reasons. And I guess because I didn't have so many people that I knew there, it was the only way to express myself through music. So I think, it was kind of the start to make my own stuff. Because I was playing younger piano and melodies, but it was in Berlin when I started actually making my own project.
Because you are a great pianist?
A great, I don't know, but...
Well, but where actually do you come from musically? Did you start just playing classical?
To be honest with you, nobody in my family really is a musician. So I was hearing a lot of music at home because my father was listening a lot of music. There was all speakers connected to every corner. So in the bathroom, in the garage, so it was all connected. So the music was always around me. And I was listening to a lot of stuff like rock, classical. I was liking a lot a Greek actress, which is already dead, and at some point I actually ended up learning classical music because there was a school on the island, and I was going with my bike and driving around, and all of a sudden I heard sounds from this piano somebody was playing. And I got really fascinated. I was like, wow, what is this? I want to learn it too. So I went home and I said, I want to learn the piano. So I kind of started with a small synth, like for kids, because my...
Like a Casio tone?
Yeah, I think it was Yamaha.
Okay.
Casio, you're right. And my uncle gave it to me. And because I didn't want to buy a piano immediately because maybe I would change my mind. So I started playing with this. Yeah, and that's it. And I started learning classical. So that's my base in piano.
And could you tell us a bit more about how is your musical process in general? How do you start creating music? Do you have any ritual?
Most of the times, because when I was younger, I was writing stuff. So I always have texts, or in general, all the things I have done until now, it represents a period of my life. So
Okay.
it's kind of a music diary. So I write, and then the first album at least, I took all of this stuff and I made an album out of it. But it was representing a specific period of my life.
Okay.
So, it's always like, what am I going through at this specific point? That's why I don't make albums all the time. I want to make, I don't know, it's kind of reflecting a period that I'm going through. So there is not a specific process. Sometimes I have the beats, sometimes I have some sounds. Sometimes I play a tune on the guitar and I love it and I leave it there for a while. And if I'm still remembering it, I take it and I combine it with some lyrics. It depends, but all have to do with a specific period or where I want to go. It's very different.
And what's your go-to setup when doing music live? Do you or not live, just your setup in general? Do you have any favorite gear or instruments apart from piano?
I use the same gear since I know myself.
Your microcorg?
But yeah, I love this I love this piece. Like I love this synth. But to be honest with you, I don't know so much technical stuff. I started with microcorg and I keep continuing with microcorg. I take inspirations from other instruments. For example, I learned a bit the accordion. I cannot play if you ask me, but I learned a bit the saxophone, the guitar, like you know. So I take I take inspiration through this, because if I play all the time piano, it's okay, but I need
you need different textures.
Yeah, because
maybe.
the instruments say a different story, each of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can completely travel in a different direction.
Yeah.
So mostly I use voice, piano, the text, and what I want to make out of this.
It's cool to talk about your inspiration. Do you also feel influenced by other artists, for example?
Of course. I listen to a lot of stuff, okay? But I have to tell you, when I started making music, I was really into trip hop. So, and I think we can see that in my music. Like Björk, for example.
Oh yeah.
Radiohead, Led Zeppelin, all of that classic stuff, actually. I was listening to a lot of trip hop, but also classical music, because I studied classical piano. There is a lot of, I believe there is classical elements in my stuff. And I also like, I don't play jazz well, but I studied a bit film composition. I wanted to start film composition, so they were teaching us arrangement and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was a teacher that actually made me like jazz, because I actually didn't like it in the beginning. So he was very passionate. And I fucking
Thank you, teacher.
loved it. Thank you, teacher. So I think it's a mixture, and sometimes it's like grabbing. You know, you go to the supermarket and you grab, blah blah blah, and you cook stuff. So
everything
whatever
is
I
just
like.
sweet. and how would you like your music in general to affect people in general?
To be positive, to stay positive as much as possible, because it's not always possible, really. It's a struggle. And so for me, this album changed a lot my perspective and perception of how I see life. It's not working always, but it helped me to switch my brain immediately to something that I want, like something like a light, like something positive. But it's also good to be down. Huh?
It's a very nice technique for your mental problems, you know?
Yes,
like
that's how I use my music somehow.
Method, very nice
it's
method.
Also a bit self-therapeutic. And
how do you see yourself in the future, like in the near future, in 5 years, for example? Do you have new projects?
I'm trying to find inspiration again.
Okay.
I have stuff in my head.
Maybe you need new places with new sounds to get you inspired.
Maybe I go to Greece now. I don't know. But I have some things.
Yeah.
But it's always like this. When you end something, like I ended the last album, somehow I didn't want it to end, because I know when I finish something, I feel empty. There's nothing. Like I'm panicking. So how, when I'm gonna get inspiration again? What am I gonna do? But this kind of process, actually, because you asked me before about the process, this is actually what makes me make music after all, because then I start writing again and writing again.
I see.
So now I'm in a position where I have some sounds that I recorded when I was 14, only piano melodies. And I want to connect the past with the present.
Okay.
So I want to take these melodies and
Beautiful.
connecting how I was and how I am now, because I don't think we change as people, but I think that you always have these childlike things when you are younger. You always have these elements in you. You cannot lose it. So I want to combine this together. You know, let's see what's gonna come.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I'm very depressive with some songs. I think I was very depressive when I was young. Yeah. So let's see.
Let's see. Looking forward to see what's coming
Me
next.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to share anything else with us, or would you like to tell something?
Yeah. Now I want to make a kind of. I want to put Greek elements also in my music,
Okay.
like Greek instruments, like okay, you know, like.
Yeah, like Greek folk instruments.
Yeah, and I think it's a bit nice if I move to another place, because I somehow, if I stay for a long time to a place, I don't feel inspired anymore. Like I live in Berlin 50 years, and I think I miss the inspiration. So if I want to do what I want to do, I have to go back. Like in
Nice
this,
chance to
in
be
this,
back then.
in this style,
Yeah.
in this environment. Yeah, and I started using the Greek language again, because until now I was singing in English, which is not my native language. My parents mostly used to listen to English music,
Okay.
and I'm half German. And then I moved to Berlin, so my influences were English.
Yeah.
And I use the language also as an instrument as well, how it sounds to my ears. And also using Greek things, it's very difficult to not sound cheesy. It's
Okay.
very difficult.
But probably it's gonna give you a way different texture in the sound, like you say, in your voice. So
But I have to work on it
Sweet.
a lot. That's it. I don't have
Yeah.
to.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming here. It was super nice.
Thank you.
And
well.
I'm really looking forward to see what's next with you. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Fingers crossed. Eh?
Yeah.
Maybe there's no inspiration anymore.
No,
Finito.
don't think so. Be positive, like you listen to your music.
Okay. Yes,
All right.
I will.
Thank you, Lisa.
I hope you enjoy it. Eh?
We did.
Okay, cool.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye.